Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so I have Jonathan Fox on the line, and he's CEO, founder, and head of production over at Wonder Made Productions. This episode is part of our AFM, that's American Film Market, a series where we interview the best and bring you the best of those that attended and participated in AFM in Century City, California. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Adam. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. So we got a lot to talk about here today. I definitely want to get into what you're doing over at Wonder Made Productions and your work. But to get us kicked off here, AFM, how did the experience go for you? For those that couldn't go, like it was pretty packed this year. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was my first year going.
First year, newbie. That's awesome. So behind the eyes of a noob, how was it?
It was interesting. I'd been told for years to go check it out. Once I had a finished film, friend in the business said, hey, that's the golden ticket to go to AFM. You have something to sell that's completed. That's what everybody's looking for. And you got to go make connections and all that good stuff. And so that's what I did. It was definitely overwhelming at first. It started off pretty rocky.
How was it overwhelming?
I showed up the second time ever going to LA. I live in Virginia Beach.
Oh, so that was a pain in itself. Go ahead.
Totally new place. Oh man, if you ever want to feel small, drive through LA,
Yeah.
I felt like a country bumpkin out there. But it was good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I showed up at my hotel though on Monday, the day before, to kind of get settled in and get to lay of the land and everything before the conference started. And my hotel had been shut down like a couple of days earlier. So I had nowhere to stay. So I was like, oh no, hopefully this isn't a sign of things to come this week. But I went over to the conference and met some great people, and someone working the show was trying to help me out with the situation, because I had booked through AFM. And she was kind enough to rent out a room in her house that she rents out from time to time. So it was a great first experience to feel welcome, actually, in LA, like someone was trying to take care of me. So thanks be to God and all that. Wow. I had a place to stay for the week, so that was great. But then I jumped right in and started meeting some good people and having good conversations and meetings. And overall, I had a great week. It was very successul.
Man, I feel like that's a great story. That's one of a kind. That's awesome.
I know, right? It was wild.
So you mentioned you have a completed film. So talk to me about the film. How do you want to tee this up?
Yeah, so it's my second feature that I've written, directed, and produced. My first one I released in the summer Boardwalk Winter and through BMG Global Distribution. So I already went through a distributor kind of directly myself for that. So we're excited about that. And then my second feature that we shot, and it's nearly complete now, called Ice Bros, which is another kind of Dumb and Dumber style comedy, road trip comedy that I was selling there for at AFM. That was the main purpose that I was there, to kind of generate interest for that.
Let's go further back into your career. Like, how'd you get into film? Where did all that start for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I have a strange journey into film myself. Several years ago, I was also in the Army National Guard, but working white-collar business as a banker full-time. And on the National Guard side, I was told that I should go get a master's degree so I would be higher on the promotion list. And I was like, nobody cares in my business whether I have a master's degree. I don't need one. They're like, we don't care what it's in. Just get it in anything you want. Excuse me. So long story short, I went and got a degree in screenwriting and really enjoyed that process. I always wanted to be in the creative arts. I actually tried for years to be a comic book writer and artist, and I was never good enough. So it was a good transition over into film, though, because many of the elements of laying out a page are very similar to shot listing and directing into film. So it kind of fit very well for me. And then I love the collaborative effort that filmmaking is. And you grab people who are really talented at working a camera, which I know very little about myself, but I know where I want to point it. I know how it should look. And so it just fit really well for me. And I just jumped kind of all in, quit the National Guard, quit my job, and just do this full time now. So. Yeah.
That's so interesting. That's great. And I'm curious, so going from the first feature to the second feature, learning, like I'm sure on that first one, there's a lot of learning. And how does that apply to going into and getting into the second feature? Any things you took away that you kind of built on?
Oh, yeah. I would say the biggest thing that I learned, because I also edited the first movie as well. I think every director should learn how to edit really, really well, because then going into the next feature, you have an idea of how to direct to the edit. And I think that's the way everything should be shot. You shoot to the edit. You have to know how everything is going to be cut together, how the scenes are transitioning from one another, and not to get tripped up by 180 rules and all that stuff. And just getting that vision so then when you hit that editing room, so to speak, you actually can fit it together to make sense of it and make it feel like a movie and be more seamless that way. So that was definitely the number one takeaway for me is think about the edit the whole time.
And so the first one you edited, the second one, I guess it sounds like you have an editor, yes? Or that you're working with some editors?
Nope, I'm editing that myself as well, yeah. I'm happier with myself this time around, yeah. I'm less angry with myself, like, why didn't I get that shot? Why did I do this way? And the second time around, I'm like, all right, I kind of knew what I was doing this time.
Yeah.
Good. It's a much easier edit.
What drives you in this? Like, what keeps you going? Like, obviously, to wear multiple hats, to get multiple things done, and to kind of push forward. And obviously, like, you're driven and to come out to LA and come to sell film. I mean, you're obviously really motivated. What drives you? Yeah, that's a great question. What drives me definitely is got to take care of my family. I got a wife and 4 kids, so we got to keep food on the table and that sort of thing. But creatively, I love comedy. I write everything kind of geared that way, even if I'm writing a thriller or a horror. Like, it's just comedy's always there. I think whether it's the main focus to make people laugh the whole time or just in a thriller or a horror just to relieve tension briefly so they can scare the crap out of them again. Yeah, I think that's fun. I miss comedy, and that's one of the things that I was most surprised about through AFM was the enthusiasm for wanting more comedy. Everybody I talked to was, we need more comedies. I miss good comedies. We used to have more comedies. We need more. Comedy's
We'd have
hard.
This great conversation. Yeah. And at the end of the conversation, they'd be like, well, we love comedies, but actually this week we're looking for horror and action.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So everybody, kind of was on the same page with that. They're like, horror and action sells. It's really hard to sell comedies internationally, so it's just a hard market, that sort of thing. But everybody was still excited about it, wanted to see screeners, loved the trailer, that sort of thing. So I think we just need more bravery in the industry to take a chance on a comedy. And so that drives me a lot to just put more comedy out there, more lightheartedness, more fun. We can't just go and see horrors all the time, be scared constantly in the theaters. And even though it's a fun experience, I enjoy it too. But yeah, I just want to put more comedy out there.
Yeah. What is this latest film about? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it's called Ice Bros. And when I was shooting Boardwalk Winter, I had Saturday Night Live legend Victoria Jackson. She was on for 6 seasons in the late 80s, early 90s. And she played a small part in that film. And we just really hit it off, really enjoyed working with each other. And we're on the same level creatively. We both love comedy and want to see more. We're both very Christian, we want clean, good comedy out there, that sort of. So I wrote this comedy for her to be in. So it's goofy, Dumb and Dumber crime comedy about 2 young guys that they start a business delivering fish around town. They get involved with the mafia. They convince them / force them to dump a dead body in a body bag 8 hours away. And while they're on this road trip to deliver this body, the person inside the body bag wakes up in the back of the van, and that's Victoria Jackson. And then they have to figure out what to do with her. It's the mob boss's wife he's trying to get rid of. And it just kind of turns into a screwball comedy about what to do with her and the mob and all that. And it's just a ton of fun. It's a goofy, fun comedy, PG comedy for everybody. So
that's
I'm
awesome.
Looking forward to getting it out there, yeah.
You mentioned your first feature film. You said that's already distributed. Are we able to watch that one? Is that or where are we able to watch that one? I believe.
Oh yeah. So that's on video on demand, Apple, iTunes, Amazon, all that stuff. DVDs on Amazon, and it just hit Tubi as well, so you can go see it on there for free as well.
Yeah. And what's the name again?
Boardwalk Winter is the
Boardwalk, and then it's a walk, and then winter, and then
Boardwalk, all one word, winter.
Yep. Boardwalk Winter right there on Tubi. Everybody go check that out. That just came out. And tee this one up for us because I definitely want people to go check that out.
For Boardwalk Winter?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that one was inspired by my hometown boardwalk in Virginia Beach. I saw this little hotel on the boardwalk when I was going for a jog, and I just kind of stopped and looked at it, and it was this 3-story hotel with a little ice cream shop on the bottom of it, kind of a cute little place. And right next to it on both sides are these kind of towering corporate style hotels, just sort of sandwiching this little thing. And I'm like, I just thought the audacity of this little thing to exist for all these years and not cave in and sell and become some big corporate tall. But it's this little place just kind of sitting in there. I'm like, what kind of people would live there or stay there? And so that story kind of developed out of that. It's a romantic comedy about a woman towards a young woman in her 20s who has a terminal diagnosis, but she's determined to live out her life the best she can, and she wants to get married before it's too late. So she kind of spends her time on the boardwalk looking for men and meeting crazy people, good people, and looking for happiness. So it's ultimately a fun comedy with a little bit of drama. So make you laugh for the most part, and maybe make you tear up if you're that kind of person.
That's awesome. Love it. Well, Jonathan, this has been a lot of fun having you on the show today. We'll definitely put some links. I saw it was really easy to find. Boardwalk Winter is playing on Tubi right now, and I know you have your next one, Ice Bros, coming up. So if people want to follow your journey and continue to follow your work, how do they do that?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed the conversation as well. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter/X at WonderMade Films, and IMDb, Jonathan Fox, also WonderMade Productions on that too.
Perfect. And for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes, so you can just click on the links and head right on over and definitely go check out Boardwalk Winter. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day we're bringing you new content. You heard me right, daily. We have a lot of great interviews planned, and we don't want you to miss a thing. So hit that subscribe or follow button. And Jonathan, thanks again for coming on.
Hey, thanks, man.